CNBC TV 18 Weekender.
Welcome back. You're watching CNBC TV 18 Weekender. We have with us writer, director, producer and ad man R Balki. Now, you started your film journey with Chini Come in 2007. How was the transition from advertising to films? What difference did you really find?
One is much longer, takes a long time. One is much shorter. But at least you get your idea executed much faster in advertising.
Okay.
Films take a long time. Too many people involved in films. But otherwise it's the same thing. It's about writing the same way. Right? The discipline of writing is more or less the same. The marketing of films is still a myth.
It's a myth?
I just feel that, I don't know why, ever since the beginning I believe that films should be marketed the way they are. I've believed that there's a trailer and people can smell a film. They can say this is the kind of film, do I want to watch it or not. The 100,000 other things that we tend to do is just for salience, just to say my film is coming, my film is coming. That's all we're trying to do. Having interviews, having chat shows, doing this, becoming part of some program. I think this is a hell of a lot of, it defies all logic. Films work because of the slight, distance that it has. It cannot be so approachable. Everything can't be. It's not like a bag of. It's not like onions. You just got to go there and sell it. Because you watch film to fantasize. You watch a film like this. You watch it. You want to be like that. You want to be like that. Can't become a commodity that you kind of market like that. The very concept of cinema will go for a toss. And it's like blind marketing. It doesn't make any sense. A lot of marketing things they do. Everybody is in the same channel. Everybody is in the comedy circus.
Same shows.
Everybody is in the same shows. What are you watching? And consumers are damn happy. They are watching their favorite stars.
You've made 4 films. Take us to some of the moments that are close to your heart, some anecdotes that you could share while filming on the sets of all these 4 films.
It's a hell of a lot of moments, and obviously a lot of the moments were with Amitji. So the most touching thing that I will always remember is when I was shooting Amitabh, that the last scene, which was at the graveyard, and he is supposed to cry, and we had got 2 cameras and we were shooting him. And he was really weeping. There was no glycerine, no nothing, and he was like he was breaking down. So I was saying, and we got it. Somewhere one camera shook, I didn't capture his face, something. And I just asked PC, we'll do one more shot. He just looked at me. He smiled and he said, "How many times do you want me to kill my mom and dad?" I was stunned actually. I didn't understand for a second. I said, shit, he actually thought of his parents passing away. On that grave, and he wept for them on that scene. A man who's gone through that kind of experience, sometimes you realize how we treat cinema, how callously we treat stars and actors and everything else. Though he's a superstar, you don't understand the sensitivity with which they do perform. I also learned how to say this is what I want also to him. Very first shot that I ever shot with him was almost we got into a fight in Chini Come. So he was in the kitchen scene. He was saying something, and I said, "No, one more." I couldn't tell him. I'll take one more loudly. One more. I signaled from behind the camera. Second take, one more. Third one more. I kept saying this, and I kept doing all kinds of signals as if I knew him very well. So at the 6th take, he lost his cool. He says, "What do you want from me?" This is the first shot. He's kind of saying, "You want me to do it like this?" I said, "Yeah." He just looked at me and said, "Shit, who have I been stuck with? Now who am I going to be stuck with for the next 2 months?" And he just did it like the whole film. He just did it exactly the way I wanted to. Out of just that deadpan kind of no expression kind of a look, which I love in him. Because when he's staring at you, you think he's thinking of 1,000 things. He's got no expression on his face.
How would you define your filmmaking process? You're known for telling thought-provoking but yet simple stories.
It's much easier to watch films than make them. So if you're making them, there must be a damn good reason to make them. I mean, it must be at least a story that's original, which nobody has heard before or been told before, or has been told before. I always swore that I'll never do biopics because I always like to write my own films and everything else. Till the time, I should never say never for anything in life. And till Akshay and Twinkle called me saying that, "Would you like this fellow's Muruganandam's life?"
Yes, and you're doing
a very fascinating life. I said, no, I don't want to do anything on this thing. First thing, I never do things. I like to write my own script. Then I went back and said, where will I get a chance to do a film on a pad? Okay, it's a subject that is so fascinating, and I love this story. I've seen that story before, so I said I'll do it, but I'll fictionalize it to make it a love story. So I'll write it in the way that I want to write it, taking key portions of it. So the current film that I'm doing is called Padman, which is like a fictionalized account of Arunachalam Muruganandam.
Do you worry about the economics of films? How much business they do? Do you keep a track of, while you're making a film, the budget, how it has to?
100%. Because I think a film does not work on how much it makes at the box office. Film works on how much you spend on it. A 10 crore film can be a big hit if it makes 30 crores. A 20 crore can be a big flop if it makes 25 crores.
Sure.
You know, it's very funny. The economics are very important, and you need to kind of control the budgets that I'm very, very particular about. It may be great fun for you to tell stories which have not been told before. It can be a trip for you, but the people putting in the money, it's business.
Do you keep a track of the film industry? How many movies are being made? What kind of...
No. The two things I never do is I don't read the newspapers, number one. Second thing is, and if you don't read Bombay Times, and if you don't read the Hindustan Times, and if you don't read the Midday, you don't read these kind of papers, you don't know much about the film industry anyway. And on the internet, I just kind of grab only some. I am not on Twitter, I'm not on social media. Whatever comes on Gauri's Twitter is what I read sometimes. As a policy, I don't read reviews, because they are like advertising awards. They don't make sense a lot of times, most of the times. And most of the people, there are of course 2-3 brilliant people there too, but there are very few and far in between. So it's a waste of time to follow an industry because it doesn't impact you. What impacts you is just you doing your stuff as well as you can.
Would you definitely want to enter the 100 crore rupee or the 300 crore rupee club? Do you want to make a film that...
No, I don't have anything else. I can never make a Dangal, for example. In my life, I'll not be able to make it because it's not my language of cinema in the first place. I can't do it. I'm not saying I don't want to do. I cannot do. I'm not equipped to do that. Because you come with a certain sensibility, the way you approach cinema, and that requires that has a certain tone of voice which may not appeal to a million people. So I can never say I would love a 10 crore film to make a 300 crore film and everybody makes a lot of money. But I don't think it will happen, because I feel that you're making a film which will appeal to a certain audience. As long as the people who invest in it make a good profit, I'm very, very happy.
All right. On that note, it's time for a short break, but don't go anywhere as we put R Balki on a quick rapid fire when we return. Stay tuned.
CNBC TV 18 Weekender.